According to the internet, the average person in North America has 255 passwords, 168 for personal and 87 for work. I have 950. Today, I'm going to tell you how I went from using mostly the same password for all of those to having a unique, randomly generated password for every single one, and how last month I didn't have to click that forgot password link once. I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to safely manage all your passwords online. Let's get into it. When I first started out online, I was like most people. I had one or two good passwords. Didn't have anything to do with my personal details. They were complex. They had uppercase, lowercase, number, special character, all that nonsense. And I used them everywhere. Email, banking, Facebook, work logins, didn't matter. It was all the same one or two passwords. And it worked fine until it didn't. One day I got a notification that a site I had been using got hacked. And suddenly I realized if the password that I'd been using there leaked, I was in deep trouble because every account was at risk. My email, my finances, my social accounts, all of it. It was like using the same key for my house, my car, and my office. If I lost it once, everything was wide open. So I tried to fix it. I started making up long passphrases. Instead of password 123, I'd use something like Purple Banana River 2020. Longer, harder to guess, still something I could remember, but pretty quickly I ran into another problem, which was that I was creating more and more online accounts, and I couldn't keep all those passphrases straight in my head. So I started writing them down, or letting my browser save them, which, incidentally, is a terrible idea because every browser just stores its passwords in a glorified text file by default. And that's easily readable by someone if they get malware on your computer. So if I'm being honest, I just started reusing passphrases. Some of you are starting to get where I'm going and starting to get anxiety as I talk about this because you know you're exactly where I was. I needed something that would keep track of all my passwords, keep them encrypted so they couldn't be hacked, and that would help me on every device that I had. I needed a password manager. Once I started using one, it started suggesting a randomly generated password every time I got prompted to create a new user account for some online service. It remembered those passwords on my PC, my Mac, and my mobile phone. All I had to do was remember the master password that decrypted my vault. On my phone, I could even open it with Face ID, which is super useful for me and my fat thumbs. The first time your face autofills a password field on your phone with an 18-character complex random password from your vault, it feels like the clouds have opened up and the sun has started shining on your security-conscious face. There are lots of options for password managers these days. NordPass, 1Password, Dashlane, LastPass, just to name a few. We'll put links down in the description for some of the biggest. Generally speaking, they all work the same way though, and they cost between $3 to $5 a month. They'll take just a few minutes to set up, and you can import your current passwords from most browsers. Once you've done that, remember to delete all those passwords out of your browser though. They'll almost all handle your two-factor authentication now too, scanning QR codes from your desktop browser or mobile phone, so you'll never have to get a text message for 2FA again. And once you're all set up, each time you visit a site that your password manager recognizes, it'll autofill it for you, assuming that you've already unlocked it with your face or master password. Recently, I've been converting my passwords to passkeys. Simply stated, passkeys move away from what you know to what you have. They take your biometrics or your device ID and they convert them into a private key that matches up to the public key that's stored in an online service. This is the future of online identity, tying your login to devices or features that only you have. All the major password managers support storing passkeys too, so you don't have to transition to a new system as you move your credentials over. Big companies like Google, Apple, and Microsoft are all behind this new technology, not only in their own products, but also in their advocacy to other companies, and that makes a big difference. There is one caveat though. Because passkeys can be tied to a device ID, they can be tied to an ecosystem. If you create a passkey on your iPhone because Apple prompted you to, you're tying that passkey to the Apple ecosystem. It'll work across other Apple devices, but if you someday decide to move to Google Android, that passkey may not come with you. You're way better to make sure you're set up with a password manager first and use that to create and store your passkeys. Those should be transferable between ecosystems. ecosystems. So now you're an identity security master. You've got complex, randomly generated password, or even better, passkeys for every online service. You're laughing in the face of news of another huge site that just had its database breached. Now go spread the gospel. Tell people what you've learned here so that we can educate the masses. And tell us in the comments which password manager you use and why in this ever-changing IT landscape. Be adaptive. See you next time.